Hey there everyone, this is Susan. Today we are going to make some theater napkins for my son's girlfriend, Chrissy. I'm thinking these would be a cute little stocking stuffer for her. Chrissy is a drama teacher, so I thought the tragedy and comedy masks with a little swirl on them would make really cute corners on her dinner napkins. Okay, I've already gone ahead and printed the artwork onto the Yudu transparency. One side holds the inkjet ink better than the other and better than just plain old transparencies. Okay, I am pulling the emulsion sheet out of the package. And as you can see, this is not a very big design. So I'm going to cut this emulsion sheet because it's one of the disposable parts of this. And it's not really necessary to use the whole mat at once. Now, while you are looking at that, I'm going to quickly put this back in the blackout package because I don't want too much light to get to this. I'm actually giving it more light than I normally would while preparing this, but that's because I'm videoing. That's all closed up. Now we're going to take our Yudu screen, which I have already dampened, and get all of this out of the way. And what you do is you put the emulsion sheet dull side down. I don't know if you can see that one side is shiny and the other side is dull. So dull side down onto the mat. And it'll work better if I get it off of my desk. And then you rub this into place, oops, a little bit. And I may have left this sitting too long while I was talking to you, but that's okay. All I'm going to do is take a spray bottle and dampen the other side because we don't want this pattern. This pattern means that it's not on there nicely. We want this to be solid. So I'm going to run and dampen this really quickly. The emulsion onto the screen, and as you can see, it's on there pretty nicely, none of those white gaps. I ran across it with the squeegee and just kind of smoothed out everything. And now we put this in the machine to dry. So now what we do is we go over here and we slide this into the opening in the machine and we hit fan. And that will run for a 20-minute cycle. And it may take 2 because I live in South Carolina where it's constantly humid. So I may have to run this twice. But when this is all dry, you'll be able to tell because the covering on the emulsion will lift right off. If it doesn't lift right off, it's not ready. While the screen is processing, I want to talk to you a little bit more about my artwork here. This was just downloaded from the internet. And there were a couple of gray areas in this particular piece of artwork, so I opened it in Paint and took out the light gray parts using paint tools. I then used just a black Sharpie and colored over on the dark mask and a little bit around this part on the light mask. There were, again, some darker gray areas. I filled those in with black marker. I just noticed I missed this little section, and I'm going to go ahead and color that in before I use it on the screen. And the reason I'm doing that is any area that lets light through will not show. You want the light to be blocked, and those are the parts that will make the design on the emulsion sheet. I'm hoping you'll understand as we get further along in this, but bottom line is do not use gray images. Go ahead and make those as black as possible when you're using your Yudu. Okay, I'm getting a nice glare on the wet part. I wanted to show you what this looks like when it's not ready. See, it won't shine like that at all. It'll all be dull like the edges. So this has got to go back in for yet another cycle. It'll be the 3rd, but like I said, thunderstorms expected here and it's very humid. Okay, my screen is finished, and I knew this because I tested my corner and this just pulled right off the emulsion. It was wonderful. So now what we have to do is take our art, open the top, and we are going to expose the emulsion. And how we do that we're going to place our art here. And I want to try and place it someplace that'll make sense to me when I'm placing the napkins on here. So I think I'm going to go right here at the 0 mark, and I hope that you can see that that's right over top. And then what we do, there it is, I hid the next piece on myself across the room. Okay, then we place black side down, right on top. Okay, I have my timer set on 8 minutes, and I'm going to expose by pushing the exposure button. And because this likes weight on top of it, to make sure everything stays nice and tight, I'm going to grab this pile of books right here and put right over top. Now there's a timer on the front of the machine, and it will beep and tell me when my emulsion has been exposed. This is really very easy. The most time-consuming part is waiting for the emulsion to be ready to use. Okay, that little beepy noise I just heard that you did not tells me the timer has gone off. So let me remove the books and remove the placard. And hope for the best here. Oh, it's cute, cute, cute. I can see. What I can see that you're not able to just yet is the green and the black. I'm sorry, have to come off screen for a second. Okay, now what I can see that you could not was the green. I need to go rinse off the screen, and everywhere that it's green will rinse off, and that's where the ink will go through. Okay, I have rinsed. And for the sake of showing you what I can see that you were having trouble seeing, I'm sure, I'm going to just stick this piece of white fabric behind there. Everywhere that you see white, those are the spaces that the ink will flow through. Pretty cool, huh? I'm excited. I think Chrissy's going to really like these. Alright, so now that this is all set, because I rinsed, you guessed it, it's a little damp again. I did take a towel and dry it, but I want to be sure that it's really dry before I start adding ink in there. So I'm going to close everybody back up and hit that fan one more time and let it dry, and then we'll be on to printing. Okay, this is all set to go now, with one exception. I am not going to tape off my edges. I normally should tape off around here, but my design is so small, I'm going to risk it and try and do this without taping. I've gone ahead on my placard and drawn a little line to represent the corner of the napkin, and if I put every single napkin in that same location, this should turn out just about right. So let's see if I can do that. I start with ink, and it says to go with a bead. I'm not really good with following exact instructions. I'm just going to admit he was hiding. I don't know why. Okay, I missed a little bit down on the end. Trying to do this somewhat evenly. Not sure I'm succeeding. Okay, now comes the fun part. You have to have something to sit that on, but it's not going to matter if it gets paint on it. And I'm going to lift the lid. Are you ready for this? I don't know how well you can see that. I'll need to come around to the back to look. But how cute is that? I think Chrissy's going to love these. And that's it. That's all there is to using the Yudu. Simple steps, simple procedures, and just fabulous finished products. I think my son's girlfriend's going to really like these dinner napkins.